let's get into today's topic.
So today we're going to talk about Side Chick Chronicles. And this has been an interesting topic. It kind of just came while I was doing a previous recording. And it really had me thinking about the few times that I've almost found myself in the side chick situation, and also how other women feel about it. Now, when I mentioned this conversation to my best friend, she decided she wanted to hop on. So I'm going to introduce her to this conversation and we're going to get it started. Hey there, best friend.
Hey, boo.
How's it going?
Going.
Okay, fair enough. So, what made you interested in coming onto the Side Chick Chronicles episode?
Because I think it's important for women to understand that they don't have to lower their standards in love.
Mm, that's good.
Mm.
That's really good. And I feel like we also have this perception in society where we almost like stick our noses up it. We're like, that will never be us. We'll never be a side chick until you find yourself in love with a man
Right?
who who has somebody else, and then you're in a predicament, and then you're like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, the two times that I almost ended up somebody's side chick, I didn't go into it thinking, oh, I'm gonna take somebody's man. In actuality, I had met the guy first. Like me and them were friends first. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
it had been like a friendship, and then it kind of like along the way we might have developed a little bit of feelings or whatever. But I wasn't intentionally trying to take nobody's man.
Mm-hmm.
How has it been for you? Just like your situations with, or your experience with this.
Well, um, I was in a relationship for a long time with a gentleman that I wanted to marry. And it was about 8 years.
Mm.
And he just kept, cheating and stuff and going on and never wanted to commit. So I finally got up out of that. And once I got free, in my mind it was like, basically forget love. Like, why even entertain the thought of love when I could just be, what those other women were, and just
Mm.
go out there and do my thing. So I did that for a while, fell in love. And unfortunately, the expectation of it was dreadful.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so you're with this guy, you're having great sex, you're enjoying each other's company, but at the end of the day, he has to go back home to his family. You know that, at some point, you can't really have a real relationship with this individual, even though we all crave love in a certain way. I think it's safe to say that we all want someone to be there with us in our, times of need, our times of desperation, or when we need, just someone to love on us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when that happened, I was just coming, like I said, I was coming out of the relationship, and then, I get with this guy and we're talking and we're doing our thing, and I don't care who he's with. It doesn't bother me, like, whatever. And then it gets to a point where it starts to bother me.
Right.
I want to be around you. I want to love on you. I want to have the same, privileges too. But in my mind, I'm like, why do I want this stuff when, I just got a relationship with somebody that hurt me beyond measure, and now I want this with somebody who got a family? Come on. That's stupid.
No, for real. It almost like skews our perception of reality when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to these relationships, right? The little piece that we do get from them,
Mm-hmm.
it almost feels like it can erase the hurt temporarily. It's like a temporary high, right?
Right.
Where we almost forget everything else that was bad, and then when we come off of that high, then it's the reality that like, oh, they don't belong to us.
Right. And I would say too, I believe like, and it's so important to know who you are as an individual and to start loving yourself, because I believe that society tells us, hey, go out there and basically just, spread yourself thin, because that's what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you, hot girl summer, and, you go and you spread your wings and you do this guy, you go out with this guy, you go out with this guy, you go out with this guy. When do you really get a chance to sit there and love yourself, and entertain God, like entertain who you are as an individual, entertain the precious things that you have, your gifts, your talents. Like, when do you take time for you and really, hey, let me go to the park and read my Bible, let me go skate, let me find something other than always trying to be a hot girl or be in a man's face. Like, you get
Right.
tired. Yeah.
When do you find time for yourself?
Yeah, it's like
But
no soul searching.
exactly. And I feel like if I always tell women, when you come off of a relationship, it's not meant for you to go right back into another one. I
Right.
know people don't believe me, but like you really need time to like process it. People don't
Hmm.
understand. When you come out of a relationship, I talk a lot about, well, recently, about grief and loss. And what people don't understand is when you leave a relationship, that's a loss, right? Like,
Hmm.
especially if you leave a relationship that's not necessarily on your terms, but like something that you had to do.
Hmm.
Because if they gonna keep cheating, you have to leave. You
Yeah.
have to eventually put yourself first. But that doesn't mean that it's not gonna hurt,
Hmm.
and that doesn't mean that you're not going to experience loss and go through the grief cycles, right?
Right.
Grieving the relationship, what it was, what you're hoping it to be, grieving who the person that you knew and the person that they turned into, right? Because nobody gets into a relationship with the person cheating right away, and you're like, "Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with it." You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? Like, the cheating normally comes later on when you're already in love, when your feelings and everything's already involved,
Yeah.
and you're just trying to, like, somewhere along the line you lost yourself, and now you're trying to figure yourself out, and now you're trying to figure out, is it you, is it that, like, what's happening, why they're cheating.
Hmm.
And people need time to go through the grieving process of a relationship.
It
Like,
is fear, you know.
yeah.
I think fear plays a big role because you don't want to, like, you're with this person for however long. Now you're not with them anymore. So now you have this fear of, I'll never meet somebody that's gonna love me again. I'll never meet somebody that's gonna treat me right. Why even, try to do this or do that? Why try to be in a relationship? And then you have this fear of yourself, like, okay, I want to know things about me, but I'm not good enough, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. You get into these cycles, and then you begin to not grieve the relationship, but you begin to grieve yourself, and you
Hmm.
begin to look down to yourself. And then you go out here and you do things of, spur of the moment, or you just like you don't get to participate in who you are fully. So you're just, again, spreading yourself thin to everything and everybody.
Literally everything and everybody, and then the real
Mhm.
estate. And I think that's always the interesting part about going through this loss process is that you don't really know how you're gonna grieve. You don't really know how you're gonna feel about it, about yourself, about the relationship, and jumping into something right away is why a lot of people are like jaded being side chicks. So, like, I don't. What I've found is a lot of people who either chosen or fell into being a side chick, a
Mhm.
lot of it comes from hurt, like the root of it. A
Most
lot of
of
it,
it.
they were just
Yeah.
hurt by somebody, hurt by something, and they just got really callous hearts, and they're just like, "Yo, F it, I'm gonna just do it. This is what it is. It don't even matter." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that's true for you specifically, but that's just what I found, just like observing people, and even for
That
like,
was very true. Very true. Very true for me. I'm sorry, go
that's,
ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, you good, go ahead.
It's just such an unfortunate thing that, like, if people realize when something ends that they need to go through the process, that they need to heal before they start something else. I think people think that the healing process is going to be long.
And that's another thing too. Like, nobody knows how long it takes to heal for real. No one exactly knows the time, the effort you have to put into it. Like, it does take time, but I would say it just depends on you, the individual, and basically your relationship with God. Like, how deep are you in how deep are you in your word for real? Like, are you really, like, praying to God? Are you talking to God? Are you building that relationship? Like, to me, you have to know that you're going to heal. Like when we always me and you always talk about like speaking things into existence. And
Mm-hmm.
we call ourselves the delusional ones. But we are delusional for a reason. Like even in the Bible it tells you like, about speaking and things coming forth, and you're like just being able to speak everything it says this is for your life from God. Like I really truly believe people should really really understand that healing doesn't have to take years and days and months and time and whatever time they think it takes. They have to really know themselves with God, I believe. And that's how you get your true healing. Like
100%.
yeah,
100%. The scripture you're referencing is Proverbs 18:21. I know it because that's the basis of what I
girl,
talk about.
girl,
Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those that love it eat the fruit of it. That's just what it
girl,
is, right?
girl.
And it's so true. Like, we will have what we say, we will have the things that we speak out of our mouths. We are already thinking something. And the Bible also
Mhm.
says, out of the heart, the mouth speaks. And so
Yes,
that means we
girl.
have to be mindful about what we're taking in the heart, about the bitterness and everything else. I remember, we're gonna talk about bitterness in a second, but I remember when God told me that my fiance was not the one for me to
Mm,
marry. Like when God mashed up my whole relationship.
mm,
Um, and yes, I'm gonna put it on God because He straight sent two people to tell me, and it was literally because I just got saved, and
mm,
I was so in my word that it wasn't that I wasn't bothered by the relationship ending. It's just that I wanted God more. I wanted
mm,
myself more. I wanted to learn about me. I wanted to learn about my identity. I had a child who was sick. Like, I was focused on other things. And I
mm,
made the decision that this relationship ending wasn't going to break me. I didn't put my whole identity in it. I knew that as much as he was a great man, I would find another one if that's what God had for me.
You
And
better
so I
let him
wasn't,
use you now. Come
you know what
on.
I'm saying? Like, I wasn't caught up in, oh, this is the only one. And nah, like,
Mhm.
yes, it hurt. I'm not gonna say it didn't hurt. It did hurt, but it's just like you said, being in my word is truly what helped me get to healing a whole lot
Mhm.
faster than it didn't. Like, the stuff with my son hurt longer, obviously,
Mhm.
but that was more my focus back then. Like, making sure that the things that I spoke wasn't detrimental, making sure the things that I was saying over my life wasn't, oh, well, this is gonna be forever. And
Yeah.
no, nah, I wasn't in agreement with none of that.
Yeah. Like I can I can't even imagine, the hurt that you went through with your son and having a sick child, and then, you losing your child. Like that's a whole different part of it all. Like that thing just opens up a huge can of worms. Like,
Hmm.
and then, a lot of people don't realize like grief and all those things they have to come to you. They have to be um, something that you process and go through, because if you don't, there's going to be a day where you might hurt yourself or hurt somebody, because you're going to break down just that bad. Like, again, I don't know, man. Like, they always tell you just, like, not stay focused, but to keep your mind entertained with things. That's why they keep you on social media. Why they keep you like always watching the latest movie that comes out, dressing like this or putting this on, or listen to this hot topic, or listen to this new song that dropped. You doing all this, right? And you're getting nowhere.
Yeah,
There's nothing that's benefiting you out of doing all that.
no,
Nothing, nothing.
and that's what people want. That's what they feel like it's
Mhm.
gonna help. And
I
a lot of
wish it
people,
helped.
right? But a lot of people, like, they turn to devices, they turn to food, they
Mhm.
turn to drugs, they turn to sex, they turn to alcohol, partying, like whatever it is that they think will numb the pain, but it's only temporary.
Man, listen. I remember when I was sitting there and I was like, I remember the last time he had came over, um, and I was just disgusted by him. Like I was just looking at him and I'm like, dog, like you just grossed me the fuck out. Like like you grossed me out. I can't even believe that I even opened my legs to you. And it's not like he's a bad person, because he's not. He's a loving person, but the thing is, like, you're not my person. Like, and for me to even think that you would even treat me well or be right to me, look at what you're doing with your family. You know what I mean? Like, and then I'm over here thinking I'm this and I'm that, but I'm opening my legs to you.
Mhm.
How I'm no better than you.
Mm.
I'm setting myself to a high standard, but I'm just as low to the ground as you are right now.
Ooh, preach.
So, somebody, man, let me tell you something. As a man thinking, so is he.
That.
Like I'm over here thinking all these thoughts and all this stuff, and I'm like, damn, I'm really just like that. So instead of me carrying that relationship on, instead of me sitting there saying, oh, if I just do it for this much longer, it'll eventually be this way or be that way, or we'll have this. How about we nip this in the bud?
Mhm.
How about we not do that?
Mhm.
How about we just not even go cross that bridge anymore? You take care of your family. I even told him, I said, you take care of your family. You should focus on God because I'm focusing on God and I'm trying to build myself and do better. That's where you need to be. Like, whatever's hurting you, instead of going out and looking for women or looking for outlets, you should look to your family and look to God. Because all these things, like, and he's doing drugs too, like he's smoking weed, he's smoking cigarettes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, boy, you doing some bottom of the barrel type stuff. Like, I ain't even, you know,
Yeah, things just don't align.
yeah, I don't smoke. I don't, I mean, hookah here and there, but I really don't, I don't smoke. I work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that aligns us in any way. You gotta take care of your family. So I'm getting no benefit. What you want? I remember one time I called myself going to see him, right? So he's like, "Oh, I got this hotel." So we go to this hotel, and it's looking like Bates Motel outside. I said, "I know damn well he don't expect me to stay here."
Mhm.
So, girl, I walk inside. Literally, there's like rust on the ceiling.
Oh Lord.
The bed looks like roaches may have lived there. Mind you, somebody lit up in that thing. Like,
Mm-mm.
somebody was smoking there because there was cigarette burns in the covers.
Wow.
You walk into the bathroom, and you know how you go into scary you how you know how you watch scary movies and
Mhm.
the lights flickering on and off.
Yes.
And then the shower you turn on, it's got that creepy noise. It's all that.
Ooh. Dang.
And so he comes and he's like, "What's up?" I said, "Do you see this place you got me?
Mhm.
You see how nasty it is in here?" "Oh, I ain't know it was like that." "So you just think I'm a bottom of the barrel type, don't you?" Girl, you talking about angry? I said, "I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna stay here." Girl, I left.
Of course.
It was like, come on now. And then and then I'm like, do I really deserve this type of treatment? And I'm thinking about all the times in my relationship with my ex, I was praying to God and asking God, please, just let him be my husband, let him be this. And there were so many times God was no, like, no, off the rip, no. He even showed me my future with him. That's how deep it was, right? So now I'm in this place where I'm with this dude, I'm his side chick, and I'm like, damn, I went from, kind of bottom of the barrel to the bottomest of the barrels now.
Lower than what you thought.
Lower than what
Yeah.
I expected to be. And like, it's like, God, what are you doing to me? What did I do wrong? And then
Mhm.
I realized, like, it ain't God, it's me.
Was it guys like, girl, that ain't me.
That ain't me. It's you, sis. Like, you put yourself in these predicaments. I want to love you. I want to help you. I want to heal you. I want to protect you. I want to put you with your husband. I want to give you things that you ask for. And I'm just like looking at myself like, nah, you got to do better. Cause I'm telling you, that shit is gross. Everybody think, and there may be like, rich side chicks because they're out there, right? But truthfully, you end up alone.
Yes.
you end up alone, and you could be alone in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
By never progressing or learning your partner, or never getting to that next step, so you end up alone in that sense.
Of course.
But when you're alone and you think you have somebody, you truly don't. That's probably like one of the worst feelings um that you could feel when you want real love.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree. Oh, do I agree with that? Because
mhm,
having my friend, now again, this particular person, he literally is just my friend.
mhm,
And at one point, we had gotten really close, and God told me I had to cut it off. And so I called him up. I was crying, and I'm like, "Yo, God said we need to separate. I can't talk to you no more," because it was getting too much, and it was about to cross the lines. And
oof,
eh, I refuse to cross the lines because I always think about myself. If I'm in her shoes, how would I feel? Obviously,
right,
not well, right?
right,
And so, but the thing was, me and him were just truly good friends, and it hurt a bunch having to cut myself off. But then I think about what would have happened if I wasn't obedient. Like, how much further would I have fallen down the hole? How many things would I then just like make exceptions for, or start to say, yeah, it's bad, but it ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like I would start to compromise with myself. And the one thing I don't do is I don't compromise.
mhm,
And people who know me, I do not compromise in a lot of things. Like,
girl,
compromise in terms of like being considerate, all that, yeah, yeah, fine. But when I compromise on my morals, that's something I will never do. That's
mhm,
just not where my heart is. That's not how I was put together, designed, and it was really hard having to break it off with him.
mhm,
I'm just like, we're not even doing nothing. It's not even nothing's wrong, but then you fall into a gray area, and then you have to wake up and see like, yeah, we have a role to play in this. We honestly do.
and you know what too? Like, I want to say, I don't care what nobody says. Whatever you perceive is what you will attract.
Mm-hmm.
If you perceive that men are nothing but dogs and roaches and all type of scums of the earth, then you will get that. And
Yeah.
that's all you will see. If you perceive that you are a side chick, you will get that, and that's all you will be.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for listening to the Lips and Language podcast. My name is Kola. I am so excited that you are here. If anything I said today resonated, then get in touch with me. I have an amazing mentorship program. It is for those who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, going through grief. It is truly an amazing time. If you want more info, hit my website, lipsandlanguage.com. And if you want to get in touch with me, you can hit it up on the website or DM me. I have a free gift for you, and I would love to be in contact with you. Whatever you decide, just know that healing, it looks good on you. And I'm so excited that we get to do this journey together. Have a blessed day. And if nobody told you, I will. I love you. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk soon. Peace.